Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about scope and scope modifiers. So let us start the video. Here we will understand what are scopes. So scopes are basically current environment in which any script or command shell is operating. And it is created when any script or function runs or when any new session or instance of PowerShell is created. Scopes are used to manage the lifespan and visibility of variables, aliases, functions and PS drives. If any scope has child scopes also, then content of the scope will be visible to all child scope also by default. Although it will be visible to all child scopes, but child scope will not be able to change anything in the parent scope. And how child scopes are created? So child scopes are created when any new script or function is called. So while calling the script or function, the calling scope will be called as parent scope and the scope or function which is called by parent scope will be called as child scope. Here we will see types of scopes. So scopes are having basically three types, that is global, local and script. And what is global scope? So global scope is created when PowerShell start or any new session is created. So while starting the PowerShell, if any variable or function available, then those will be created in global scope. And within the PowerShell profile, if any variable, alias or function there, then those also will be created in the global scope. Global scope is also root parent scope in any session, and it is only one that rules over all. We cannot create multiple global scope or root parent scope. And now if we talk about the local scope, so it is nothing but current scope only, and it is relative to whatever context code runs in at that time. For example, when PowerShell starts, it will refer the global scope, and when any script is running, then script scope will be referred as local scope. And now what is a script scope? So it is created every time a PowerShell script runs, and only commands within the script will come under the script scope. And for the command inside the script, it will be called as local scope only. Scope also has some rules. So what are those rules? So the first rule is scope may nest, means we can create nested scope also, and in that case outer scope will be called as parent scope, and if it has any nested scope, then nested scope will be called as child scope of the parent scope. And if any scope has any item, then that will be visible in the same scope where it was created, and in the child scope also it will be visible unless we make it explicitly private. Any item can also be changed only within the same scope where it was created unless we make it explicitly for different scope. And if any newly created item has same name into different scope, although the original item might be hidden under the new item, but we cannot override or change the content of the item in new scope. If any newly created item is also available in different scope, although the original item might be hidden under the new name, but it cannot be overridden or changed. So we cannot change the value of item into different scope from any other scope. In PowerShell, we have one concept called scope modifiers. So when we execute the PowerShell script, then there are some automatic scope which will be created like global, local or script scope. We have option to use the scope modifier keywords to specify the different scope. Here you can see the syntax of scope modifier, that first of all we have to use the scope modifier keyword, and after colon we have to use the variable name. Then we can assign some value to it. And if we want to use the scope modifier for any function, then this is the syntax. So we have to use first function, then after that we have to use the scope modifier keyword, then after colon we can use the name of the function, and below that we can write the function body. So we have basically global, local, private, script, and using scope modifier keywords, using which we can specify the scope for any item. So if we use the global keyword, then it will specify that name exists in the global scope. If we use the local keyword, then it will specify that name exists in the local scope. Also, current scope is always the local scope. If we use the private scope modifier, then it will specify that name is private, and when we make it private, it will only be visible to the current scope. And if we use the script scope modifier, then it will specify that name exists in the script scope. So script scope is nothing but it is the nearest ancestor script files scope, or global scope is only called as script scope if there is no ancestor script file. And at last we have using script scope modifier. So it is used to access variable defined in another scope while executing the commandlet like start, job, and invoke command. So within these commandlet, if we want to access some variable from outside scope, then we can use using. And now we will see what is dot source notation. So it is nothing but a technique in PowerShell which allows us to run any script or function without creating any new scope for it. So basically when we execute any PowerShell script or function, so it runs in new environment. But if we want to run those in same environment where other part of the script is running, then we can use dot source notation. We can use any script or function to the current scope by using dot source notation. If we are using any script in the dot source notation and a script is running in the current scope, and whatever the function or alias or variable is available in the script, so that also will become available in the current scope. There is method to use the dot source notation. So first of all we have to write the dot symbol followed by space, and then we can write the path and file name of the script, or if we want to call any function, then we can write the function call. And now we will see some examples and we will see how scope and scope modifier works. This is our first example here, and in this one I have created one variable called x, and I have specified the scope of this variable as global. I have assigned value 10 to it. After that I have created one function and I have given name as modify x. Inside the function I am again creating one variable called $x and I am assigning the value 9 to it. And after that I am printing that variable. So although we have two variables whose name is same, outside function also it is x and inside function also it is x, but outside function we have specified the scope as global, but same variable is created inside any function, then it becomes local variable inside the function. And now if I execute this function and if I call this function, then you will see although we have assigned value 10 to x variable, but after calling the function we are getting value 9. This is happening because this is the local copy of the same variable. So if we are doing something here, so it is getting changed locally. It will not be changing anything in the other scope. And now if I print the same variable after calling the function here, then you will see we will be getting the value 10 here. It means $x outside the function is having different variable and same $x inside the function is having different variable. This is happening because of scope. And now we will see some different example. Here again I have created one variable and I have assigned value 11 to it. Again I have created one function, and inside function this time instead of just writing $x, and I have used the global scope modifier with it. I have assigned value 12 here. What will happen now? Both the variable you are seeing is defined under the global scope. It means both are having the same variable. So here if I execute this function and if I try to call here, and now you will be seeing that this value got changed this time. So previously it was 11, and inside the function when we assigned a new value to it, then outside also it got changed. So this happened because we have used same scope modifier with both the variables. Although both the variables were defined at two different places, still both were sharing the scope modifier as global. Now let's move to the next example. Here first I have created one variable which is also a local variable and global variable, because global scope is the root and parent scope. And I have created one function called my function. Inside the function I have again created the same variable, my variable, and this time I have assigned value function's scope. And after that I am printing the variable calling local my variable. In this one I have specified the local scope modifier and I have given the name of the variable. And again I am printing the variable, and this time script my variable, and I have specified the scope as script my variable. So when we are printing the first time, so it will be taking the value of the local variable. It will be taking as local scope, and whatever the value we have assigned inside the function, so same will be printed over here. But when we are printing with the script scope, then it will be taking the value of outside function and it will be printing inside the function. Since outside variable is defined in the script, so that is the reason it will come under the script scope. So if I execute this one and if I call the function here, so you will see that first I have got local my variable functions scope. So locally this variable got printed. So when we assign any variable or something inside any function, so by default it is the local scope variable until we explicitly specified the scope modifier. And next line we have got script my variable. So here you can see we have got the value of the variable which is defined outside of the function. This happened only because we have used here script. And now if I try to print here once again both the variable as local scope and local scope explicit, in both the cases you will be seeing that we are getting printed the same variable. So this is also called as script scope variable, and it is also called as local variable because it is defined locally here. And now we will see example of dot source notation. So first we need to define any function here. and in that function we have to write the parameter or something. And while calling that function, if we want to dot source, then we have to use the dot, and after that we have to use space in the function name. So this time when we call the function, so instead of executing in the different scope, this function will be executing in the current scope only. And whatever the content is there inside the function, so those also will become available in the current scope. For example, if I execute this line, so now you will be seeing that value of this variable will become available outside also. Although we have not defined this variable anywhere outside this function. So if I print this variable, you will be seeing that whatever the content it got inside the function, so those content are also available when we print it outside the function. So this is how we can use the dot source notation to run any script or function in the current scope only. So now let's move to the other part of this topic. And this is how we have seen overview of scopes. We have seen all the types of scopes. There are some rules for scope. We have seen those also. We have also seen scope modifiers. And at last we have seen how we can use dot source notation to run any script or function within the current scope. We have seen some examples and we have understood how scope and scope modifier works. So I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.